Good morning, students. Myself, Vijay Shankar from VC Department, Civil Engineering College. So today I'm going to discuss about the same topic, basic operations on signals. Basic operations on signals. See, already in the previous class, we discussed about the time shifting and the time reversal, time scaling. See, the time shifting means shifting towards the right side is a delay function. Shifting towards the left side is an advanced function. And time reversal is a folded function. The x of minus t, the given x of t is a signal. X of minus t is a folded version at the 0. If x of minus t minus 3 or x of minus t plus 3, it is shifted towards the left side or it is the right side, depends upon the values what we shifted. Coming to the third one, amplitude scaling. Here, the name itself saying that it is the amplitude scaling. Scaling only for the amplitude, there is no any change in the frequency. The frequency is constant, only the change occurs in the amplitude. The amplitude scaling of continuous time signal x of t can be represented by y of t is equal to a into x of t, where a is a scaling factor or the a is a constant for the signal given x of t. The amplitude of y of t at any instant is equal to a times the amplitude of the x of t. A times the amplitude of the x of t. Is a times increasing or it is a decreases at that incident. But the shape of y of t is the same as the shape of x of t. If a is greater than 1, its amplification, and a is less than 1, it is attenuation. Amplification means it increases. Attenuation, it is a decreases. Less than the 1 and greater than the 1 values. So x of t is given here that with an amplitude of 1 with minus 1. Whenever the y of t is keeping that a value is a 2, the 2 is increases the amplitude in the positive and the negative. But there is no any changes in the frequency itself. So it is the amplitude signal. Next, time scaling signal. Time scaling. Here we are scaling to the time only, not the amplitude. Okay, now here there is no any change in the amplitude, here change in only the frequency for the time period. The time scaling may be time expansion or the compression. Expansion or compression. When it is expansion, whenever it is divided with any of the scaling factor by 2 or by a something. When it is compression means when it is multiplied with the 2 or whatever it is the value. Multiplied with a is a compression, and divided with a, it is an expansion. The time scaling of a signal x of t can be accomplished. The time scaling of a signal y of t can be accomplished by replacing t by a into t. By replacing t by a into t, where a is the scaling factor for the t value. Mathematically, it is expressed as y of t is equal to x of a into t. If a is greater than, it results time compression. If ta is greater than, greater value you can take, it is a compression by a factor of a. If a is less than 1, it results in time expansion. A is less than 1. It is 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by transformation, a point at a into t in the signal x of t becomes a point at t in y of t. A is less than 1. A is less than 1. The results time is expansion. Okay. If a is greater than 1, it results the time is compression. It's a compression value, and here it is a expansion value. It's a compression. Compression for the signal. Compression for the signal x of t here. it starts from the minus 1 to 3. You see, in the t function, observe here the t and the 3, minus 1 and the 3. Minus 1 and the 3. See, there is no any change in the amplitude, only there is a change occurs in the frequency. Whenever it is a divided with the multiply with the 2, see the figure A, the transformation is y of t is equal to x of 2 into t. It divided by 2, minus 1, it compressed to the minus 0.5, and 3, half point is compressed at 1.5. See, in the left hand side is a minus 0.5, in the right hand side we'll get the 1.5. The given signal is varies from the minus 1 to 3. Now, whenever it is scaling with t, A is greater than value, whatever the A is a scaling factor for the t, now it is a compressed. Coming to the second one, A is less than the 1, so t by 1 by 2. Now see here, the time is changes from minus 2 to the 6. It doubles the value. Minus 1 doubles it's a minus 2, and 3 is doubles is a 3, 6. The expansion occurs. Expansion occurs whenever if it is a less than the 1, and compression occurs when A is greater than the 1. Got it, Manish? This is time scaling. Previously, we learned that is a amplitude scaling. Only there is a changes occurs in the amplitude. If A is greater than, it is increases. A is less than, it is a decreases. Nothing but amplification is increases. Less than means is attenuation. Got it. Next is fifth one is signal addition. The sum of two continuous time signal x1 of t and x2 of t can be obtained by adding their values at every instant of the time. By adding the values at every instant of the time. Similarly, the subtraction of one continuous time signal x2 of t from another x1 can be obtained by subtracting the values of x2 of t from x1 of t. Both the same. We are adding the x1 and x2, the same way the x2 and x1 is subtracted at every instance only. So take the example here. If I am taking the x1 of t here and the x2 of t, the two functions. Now see the what is the range of 0 to 1, the value is magnitude is a 2 here. For 0 to 1, the magnitude is a 2. And here the 0 to 1, the magnitude is slowly it is increases. Slowly it is increases up to the value of 1. So here the 2 value is multiplied with the 0, and is the same thing which started from the 2, 1 into adding 2 plus 0. 2 plus 0 is a 2 only. And slowly it is increases. Let it be the 2.5, 0.5. And it is also a 2 plus 0.5 is a 2.5. Then at 1, here the value is a 1. So 2 plus 1 is a 3. So you get the 3 here. Got it, my students? This is addition of the signals. So let again we can see that at 0 the value is a 2 here. At 0 the value is a 0. So 2 plus 0 is a 2. Next value considered here the 0.5. What is a 0.5? The value is here the 2 only. But here the 0.5 is increases. Means here also the 0.5. So 2 plus 0.5 is a 2.5. And at 1 the 2. Here at 1 it is a 1. 2 plus 1 becomes, we'll get the 3 here. Got it? From the range of 1 to 3. From the range of 1 to 2, 3. What is the value here? 1. But here 1 to 3, the value is also 1 here. Okay, the total value of 1 to 3, the magnitude is a 1. Okay, up to range of 1 to 3, whenever these two signals is added, you'll get the magnitude is a 2 here. Understood? From 3 to 4, observe here from 3 to 4, the value is 2 only, the same thing, whatever we have, the 0 to 1. But in the x2 of t, from 3 to 4, it decreases. Means At 3, the value is at 2. 2 plus 1, the 3. Here the 1 value is there. 2 plus 1 is a 3. And at 4, what is the 4 value is a 0. So it gets a 0. The value is a 3.5. So 3.5 here, the 3.5, and it is also the 3.5 decreases. Goes on 3.1, 3.2, 3.4, and at the 4, the value is 0. So this is an addition factor, x1 plus x2. x1 plus x2. When you go for the subtraction, the same values you can apply here in the range of 0 to 1. It is slowly, it is increases with the 2. So 2 minus 0 is a 2 only. And 2 minus it is increases means definitely there is a decreases here. So 0.5, the 2 minus 0.5 is a 1.5. And here the value is 1. 2 minus 1, the value is 1. 2 minus 1 is the value is 1. Okay, it is slowly decreases. Coming to the 1 to 3 range, x of 2 is 1 and x of 1 is also 1. So both the 1, 1 is becomes of 1 minus 1, 0. Previously, the 1 plus 1 is a 2. We are adding the 2 signals. But here we are subtracting the 2 signals in the range of 1 to 3. The subtraction means the magnitude is 1 here and here also the magnitude is 1. 1 minus 1 becomes a 0. And from 3 to 4, here the value is a 2 and here it is a decreasing. Decreasing means 2 and the minus 1, the value is a 1 at the 3. Okay. And at the 3.5, what is the 3.5 here? The 3.5, not the 3.5, it is decreases 3.5 only. So 2 minus 3.5. 2 minus the 3.5, we are subtracting the x1 minus x2, and it goes to the 1 with the 2, the range is 1.5. It's x2 minus 1. Take this as x2 minus, it decreases the value, 1.5 on. 3 have the 3.5, the value is 1.5. And here also the 3.5, the value is a 2. So 2 minus 1.5. 2 minus 1.5, here the increase is not the increase. x1 value is a 2. And it is a minus of. So at the 4 value, the 2 minus the 4, the becomes is a 2. So whenever it is a decreases, here it is a increases. Whenever it is increases, here also the decreases value. Got it, minus 1. So 2 minus 1, and next value is a 1, 1.5, the 0.5 value only. Here it is not the 1.5, it's a 0.5. 2 minus 0.5, the value is 1.5 here. And the 2 minus 0, the value is a 2. So it is slowly decreases and goes to 0, and slowly it is increases and goes to the, up to the value of 2. So this is a subtraction of the given 2 signals, x1 and x2, and addition of the 2 signals, x1 and x2. Next is signal multiplication. The same way you can multiply the 2 signals by taking off the magnitudes, So the multiplication of the 2 continuous time signals can be performed by multiplying their values at every instant. 2 continuous time signals x1 and x2, and with the 0 to 1, see here, 0 to 1, x1 of t value is a 2, x2 of t is a 1. So 2 into 1, the value is 1. Following my response. And 1 to 2, the 1 to 2 range, the value x1 of 2 is a 1, x1 of 3 is a 1, and 1 to 2 range, the x1 of 2 is increases gradually. And depends upon the value, it is 1 plus t minus 1. 1 plus t minus 1. So forget about that, it is at 1 and at 2 only you can see. At 1, the value is 1 here and here also the 1. So both the cases it's a 1 only. And at 2, the value is a 2 here, and at 2 the value is 1. So 2 into 1, the value is a 2. So definitely from 1 to 2, it is increases. It is increases. And the range of 2 to 3 here, the range of 2 to 3, the value is 2 here, and the value is decreases. Means let us take only the at 2 and 3 at a particular instance only. At 2 the value is 1, at 2 the value is 2. So definitely the value is 2. And at 3 the value is 3, 0 here. At 3 the value is 2. 0 into 2 becomes a 0. What it matters? See, by seeing the given signals x1 and x2, take the ranges, what is the magnitude there, and take here also the ranges, what is the magnitude, and multiply those two magnitudes. Accordingly, you can draw the x1 into x2, the multiplication or the signal multiplication. Next, again here, see the classification of signals. Already we know the continuous time signals and discrete time signals. You know, the continuous time signal means the signals that are defined for every instant of time are known as a continuous time signal. Every instant of time is a continuous. That specific instant of time means discrete. Okay. Continuous time signals are also called as analog signals. For continuous time signals, the independent variable is time. It is denoted by x of t. They are continuous in amplitude as well as in the time. Most of the signals are available in continuous time signals only. And coming to the discrete time signals, the discrete time signals are defined only at a discrete instant of times or specific instant of time. Every instant of time is a continuous. Discrete time instance of time is a discrete time functions. The discrete time signals are continuous in amplitude but discrete in time. See, amplitude is continuous, but time is discrete. Both the amplitude and the discrete is both the amplitude and the time is continuous. That is a continuous time. For the discrete time signals, the amplitude between the two time instants is just not defined. Between time instants 0 and 1, we are not taking anything. Only we are considering a particular instance of time at the 0, at 1, at 2, at 3, 4, and 5. In between, we are not taking any values. The amplitude between the two time instants is just not defined. For the discrete time signals, the independent variable of the time is n. Since they are defined only at the discrete instant of time, they are denoted by x of n simply, not the x of n here, simply by the x of n, where n is an integer. Again, these discrete time signals are classified different types of signals. One is deterministic and random signals, periodic and non-periodic signals, energy and power signals, causal and non-causal signals, and even and odd signals. Okay. Signals are classified as two types, continuous and discrete. And discrete is again classified as 5 types. One is deterministic and random, periodic and non-periodic, energy and the power signal, causal and non-causal, even and odd signal. Let us see what are the different types of continuous and discrete time signals in the deterministic and the random signal. Already we completed, but again you can see this one. Deterministic and the random signals. A signal exhibiting no uncertainty of the its magnitude and phase at any given instant of time is called deterministic. No uncertainty means a deterministic signal has a regular pattern and can be completely represented by the mathematical equation at any time. See, in the two graphs here, A and B is representing as a deterministic, and B, C and D, it is not regular intervals, the random signals. A deterministic signal has a regular pattern, a sawtooth here and this is sinusoidal. By seeing that we can see. But here irregular shape is there. Irregular shape means that is a random sequence. No uncertainty. When uncertainty is there, that signal is a random signal. So a signal exhibiting no uncertainty of its magnitude and phase at any given instant of time is called a deterministic signal. And a signal characterized by uncertainty. No uncertainty is deterministic, uncertainty is a random. by uncertainty about its occurrence is called random signal. The random signal cannot be represented by any mathematical equation. Otherwise, here the deterministic signal is represented by mathematical equation. Since it having cosine function, sine function, the regular shape is there. Irregular shape in the random signal, so it is not representing any mathematical equation. The pattern of such a signal is quite irregular. Remember these points, it is a regular and irregular. Regular is a deterministic, irregular is a random signal. There is no uncertainty, is a deterministic. There is by uncertainty is a, that is a random signal. It is represented by mathematical equation, deterministic signal. It is not, it cannot be represented by mathematical equation, is called random signal. Got it, my students? Now coming to the energy and the power signals. Energy and power signal. We know the energy is varies in between of 0 to infinite, and the power is also varies between the 0 to infinite. Energy is a non-zero term, and it is not equal to 0 and not equal to the infinite. The power is also the non-zero term. It is not equal to 0 and not equal to the infinite. The signals may be classified as energy signals and power signals. However, there are some signals which can neither be classified as energy signal nor the power signals. So when you can say the given signal is, this is the power signal and this is the energy signal. Let us see the first point. A signal is said to be energy signal. Remember it. A signal is said to be energy signal if and only if its total energy is finite. The total energy is finite, means it varies from 0 to infinite. For an energy signal, the average power is equal to 0. Remember it. If the energy is finite, the power is a 0. If energy is a finite, we get the power is a 0. When energy is a signal, the power is a 0, that signal is an energy signal. Power is a 0 means it is a non-periodic signals, or examples of the energy signals only. The first most have to remember, the given signal is energy signal means the energy is a finite signal and in the range of 0 to infinite. And that signal, if you find the power, that power is a 0, that absolutely it is an energy signal. Coming to the second point, the signal is said to be power signal if its average power is finite in the range of 0 to infinite. For a power signal, the total energy is infinite. Remember, if power is finite, the energy is infinite. That signal is a power signal. And here, the energy is finite, the power is a 0. That signal is an energy signal. Okay. And the third one, both energy and power signals are mutually exclusive. That is, no signal can be both energy signal and the power signal. No signal can be both energy and power signal. This is a very, very important point. It is. The given signal is not the, it is not, if it is energy signal means it is not a power signal. If it is a power signal means it is not an energy signal. That is the saying, the both energy and the power signals are mutually exclusive. That is, no signal can be both energy and power. No signal can be both energy and power of a signal. One signal is not saying that's energy and the power. Either it is energy nor it is a power. That only saying yes. Neither be classified as energy nor it is a power signal. Okay. And fourth point saying that the signals that do not satisfy the above properties are neither energy signal nor it is a power signal. If these three, the above three is not satisfied, and that signal is not a power and not an energy. Got it? Once we are saying the energy is energy signal means energy is finite and power is 0. When the signal is a power means the power is finite and the energy is infinite. Got it? Next, causal and non-causal signals. So I already told the causal means h of n is equal to 0 for n less than the 0. Okay. A continuous time signal x of t is said to be causal if x of t is equal to 0 for t less than the 0. For negative values of t, the signal is a 0. That is a causal signal. Otherwise, the signal is a non-causal. If it is not satisfies this condition, x of t is equal to 0 for t less than the 0. So a little bit confusion. If x is the input signal, how the input is a 0 means you'll get the output. So change this as you can write as a h of t, impulse signal. H of t is equal to 0 for t less than the 0. A continuous time signal x of t is said to be anti-causal. Anti-causal means x of t is equal to 0 for t greater than, opposites. Let be the confusion, there is an h of t is equal to 0 for less than 0. We are saying it's a causal. Anti-causal means greater than the 0, the h of t is a 0. Absolutely, the positive relax is a negative, and negative relax is a positive. Causal is becomes positive relaxes. Anti-causal means all the values that are present in the negative relaxes. There is no any values in the positive relaxes. Okay. And a causal signal does not exist for negative time, and anti-causal signal does not exist for positive time. That only. Anti-causal means having the values only in the left hand. Causal signal means having only in the right hand. There is no any values. It is a 0, and here it is a zeros. See, the causal signal does not have negative time. Negative time. Causal signal does not have negative time. It is a causal signal. Okay, the negative time is not there. And similarly, the anti-causal signal does not have positive time. There is no any positive time here, only the negative values. And it is a signal which exists in positive as well as the negative is either causal nor anti-causal. Suppose if I have the signal like this, means it having the negative values, it having the positive values, that we can say a signal which exists positive as well, negative time is neither causal nor anti-causal. It is a non-causal signal, simply saying. It is a non-causal signal. Okay. Means if any point that is present in the left half of the and left values, it is a non-causal. V of t is a causal and V of minus t is a non-causal. What I draw here is a V of t is a causal signal, and this mu of minus t is an anti-causal signal. And combining the negative values and the positive values is a non-causal signal. Non-causal. Okay. Non-causal. This is anti-causal. It's a graph is representing of anti-causal. Got it, my students? Similarly, for the discrete time signal also, x of n is said to be causal for x of n is equal to 0 for n less than the 0. Otherwise, the signal is non-causal. A discrete time signal x of n is said to be anti-causal for x of n is equal to 0 for n greater than 0. Only change is n variable. Instead of t, the n, it becomes a discrete time signal. For every instant of time is called continuous time system. At specific instant of time is called the discrete time system. Okay. And coming to the next one, the periodic and non-periodic signal. Periodic and non-periodic signal. Till now we discussed about deterministic and random energy and power signals. We have deterministic and random signals, energy and power signals. Periodic, causal and non-causal signals also we discussed. Now given the periodic and non-periodic signals. Fourth one. Periodic and non-periodic signals. A signal is said to be periodic if it repeats at regular intervals. If it repeats at regular intervals, non-periodic signals does not repeat at regular intervals. Okay, periodic, let us see. This is a signal we have from 0, 1 and 2. Means with the period of 2 here. And again it is repeated with the same 3 and 4 with the period of 2. And in the left hand side also it is repeated with the same with the period of -2 and -1. Don't think that is a minus value, the period of 2 only here also. This we can call it as a periodic signal. This is periodic signal, which is not repeated with regular intervals. Let us take, if I am taking that the same signal here. Now the next signal is repeated like this. So 0, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Again, the signal is like this. That signal is not a periodic signal, it's a periodic signal. Okay, it is not repeating the same signal is with the interval of 2. Got it? It's a non-periodic signal. The last is a even and odd signal. Even and odd signal. Even is a symmetric, odd is a antisymmetric or asymmetric. A continuous time signal x of t is said to be an even, nothing but is a symmetric signal if it satisfies the condition x of t is equal to x of minus t, means here the positive value is there. And in the discrete time signal also x of n is equal to x of minus n for all the values. Okay, the x of t is there. For x of minus t is also the same thing, even signal. Even signals are symmetrical about the vertical axis or time origin, as they are also called as a symmetric signals. Cosine is an example of even signal. Cosine is an even, wave is an example of even signal. Some even signals also the same. The even signals, these are for positive values and the negative values, you get the same thing. See, for the positive values, it decreases, and for the negative values, also the same. And odd functions. Even functions means x of t is equal to x of minus t, x of n is equal to x of minus n. For odd functions is anti-symmetric or asymmetric, is simply saying x of minus t is minus of x of minus t. X of minus t is a minus x of t. X of minus n is a minus x of t. Okay. And it having the even part and the odd part is also we already discussed in the class itself. X of t is having even part plus odd part. X of minus t is a even part, is a positive value, and the odd part is a negative. So xc of t minus x of, whenever you can substitute the minus t here. So adding of these two signals, x of t and x of minus t, x of t and x of minus t, you get the even part, 1 by 2 into x of t plus x of minus t. Subtracting of the two signals, you'll get the odd part, x of t is equal to 1 by 2 into x of t minus of x of minus t. Here the plus is there, the even part is the even part of the signal. You can say it's the even component also. The even component or even part. And this signal is the odd part. Odd part is subtraction of the two signals, odd part. Okay. Similar way in the discrete function also, whatever the t is there, you can replace with the n. The n is a variable of the discrete time function. So xc of t is 1 by 2 into x of n plus x of minus n. And x of t is 1 by 2 x of n minus x of minus. Got it, Manish? So the product of two even and odd, even or odd signals is an even signal. Product. Plus into minus. Plus into minus is becomes it's a minus of. Okay. Minus into minus it becomes a minus. So the product of two even or odd functions is an even signal, and the product of even signal and odd signal is a odd signal only. When we can take the even and odd, plus into minus is a minus. Okay, and the two even or the two odd signals. Two even or the two odd signals. Plus into plus. Minus into minus is also the plus. These two signals are even signals. Whenever it is a plus into minus, is a odd signal. Okay, the product of even and odd. Let assume the even is a plus, minus is a odd, even into odd will get the odd function. Even function and even function will get the plus, and odd is also will get the plus. So product of two even and odd, two odd signals is an even signal, and the product of even and odd signals is the odd signal. So we can prove that is the following: x of t and x1 of t. So x1 of minus t is x1 of t, and x2 of minus t is x2 of t, and x of minus t is x1 of minus and x1 of minus 2. Both are, it is a same signal, even signal of t. Now the same, the x1 of minus t is x1 of t, and x2 of t minus x2 of t. Both are even functions. Again, we get the x of t, and x1 of t is x minus of x1 of t. X2 of t is minus x2 of t. Both are odd functions. Even will also will get the even function of x of t. Minus x1 of t and minus x2 of t. Minus into minus is a plus. Again, you will get the x of t. So two even functions will get the even functions only. Then two odd functions also will get the odd even function. And coming to the one is even and one is odd. X1 of t minus is x1 of t, and x2 is considered as an odd function, minus x2 of t. Plus into minus, it becomes of the minus. Thus, the product of two even signals and the two odd signals is the even signal, and the product of even and odd signal is an odd signal. Okay, every signal need not be either purely even signal or purely odd signal, but every signal can be decomposed into sum of even signals and odd signals. This is a very important point, my dear students. So remember this: every signal need not be either the purely even or purely odd, but every signal can be decomposed into the sum of the even signal and sum of the odd signal. And it is a decomposed, split into the even and the odd parts. But every signal is not at all is the even and not the odd signals. But it decomposed into the parts. X of t is equal to xc of t plus xo of t, and different sum of the even and the odd parts. Okay, so it's completion of the different types of discrete and the continuous time signal, that is a deterministic and a random signals, even and odd signals, causal and non-causal signals, periodic and non-periodic signals. Okay, my dear students. Next, we go for the another topic. The last topic in this first unit is analysis, signal analysis, or analog between the vectors and the signals. In that, the orthogonality is one concept. I already said in the class, told that in the classes, orthogonality means it's mutually perpendicular to each other. Mutually perpendicular to each other. Signals can be represented in terms of orthogonal function. These orthogonal functions satisfy specific properties, and this, the first concept is orthogonality concept in the vectors. Let I am assuming the one f of t as a vector and x is another vector. All these signals are basically vectors. A vector can be represented in terms of its coordinates. For example, consider a vector f is the vector f is there. There is